Breaking news of Shakur Stevenson violating Frank Martin on $1 million worth of game, where he called Frank Martin the P word because he turned down 25% to fight him for the vacant WBC title. Shakur revealed he offered Frank Martin a 75-25% split and even confirmed it in his DM on Instagram. Apparently, Frank Martin had thought the split was 80-20, but Shakur confirmed it was 25% for Devin Haney WBC title at lightweight. Then Shakur claimed Frank Martin wanted a 50-50 split to fight Shakur, which is exactly what Shakur wanted to fight Devin Haney for undisputed. However, Frank Martin responded with, he did not ask for 50-50. He just basically wanted a better offer. Frank was offered $1 million to fight Shakur, but he wanted $1.5 million to $2 million to fight Shakur. Even Shakur said it himself. He said Frank wanted to make sure he was getting offered 25%. That's why I don't know how that number went from 25%, according to Shakur, to 50-50. If Frank was only making sure that number was 25%, then why did Shakur believe Frank wants 50-50? I don't understand that. If Frank wanted to confirm the purse he was getting is 25%, then how did that number go all the way to 50%? I'm just confused at this point. But what caught my attention the most is how Shakur went out of his way to call Frank Martin the biggest B word in the world. However, when it came to Lomachenko, with that same breath, he did not even call Lomachenko the B word. But when it came to that brother, Frank Martin, Shakur went out of his way to diss him. Here is exactly what Shakur Stevenson had to say. Check it out.
You be training all the time. You so eager to fight, but it's like every time a fight pop up, it disappear.
Cause
what happened with Frank Martin?
He's a that is a straight. I never seen nobody more made than Frank Martin. Frank Martin is the most in the world. Like, I done DM'd this. Mind you, I would never had that thought if I didn't have a DM conversation with the nigga. I talked to this on the DMs. I explained this man, look, this is how much money the fight is. Me and you're not that big of a name, bro. You don't bring nothing to the table. I'm the name.
Yeah.
So this how much the fight is worth. This man sat there in the DMs after I told him, look, I'm getting this much, you get this much. He tried to act like it wasn't 25%, but it is. He wanted 50-50. 50-50 or he's not fighting me. And it don't make sense. That don't make sense to me. Like, why would I fight Frank Martin? He never won a title. He never been in he never done nothing in the sport of boxing.
No, I like Frank Martin as a fighter.
I mean, he's a bitch.
I don't think in a purse dispute with you, I don't think he should get 50%.
He don't think that.
I'm gonna say this.
He just scared. He's not going to fight unless it's a cash out number. Just like other fighters, Lomachenko was offered the most money in his career to fight me. Why not fight me? The most you're older, it's the end of your career. Why not take the most money in your career to fight in one of the biggest fights in boxing? Why not?
Right.
Now, even though that was harsh by Shakur, the reality is Frank Martin missed out on a big opportunity when he turned down that 75-25% split to fight Shakur Stevenson for the vacant WBC title due to the fact at the moment in time, Frank Martin needs Shakur. However, Shakur doesn't need Frank Martin. The exact same way Shakur Stevenson missed out on even a bigger opportunity when he turned down the same exact split, 75-25%, to fight Devin Haney for undisputed. Since we all know Devin Haney doesn't need Shakur at the moment in time like Shakur needs Devin Haney. The proof is in the pudding. Just look at who Devin Haney is fighting next compared to Shakur. Devin Haney is moving up to 140 to fight the WBC champion there, Regis. Meanwhile, Shakur went from having the opportunity to fight Devin Haney for undisputed to now fighting a fighter who is not ranked on the top 5 at lightweight, De Los Santos. Even though he's a hell of a fighter, however, he's ranked on the top 10, not the top 5. Basically, Shakur went from fighting a pound-for-pound top 5, the kingpin of the lightweight division, the undisputed champion Devin Haney, for approximately $8 million, according to Shakur's own team, by far Shakur's biggest payday, to now fighting Edwin De Los Anjos, who's not a top 5. He's a top 10, a dangerous fighter, but ultimately Shakur went from fighting number 1 to fighting number 6 or number 7 at the lightweight division. That's why it's really shocking to me to see Shakur Stevenson go off on Frank Martin like that, calling him the P and the B word, when Shakur literally did the exact same thing against Devin Haney. The reason why Frank Martin turned down the Shakur Stevenson fight is because Frank Martin wanted more money. Well, guess what? That was the same excuse Shakur Stevenson made when he turned down the Devin Haney fight. I'm just saying, that's why it's shocking to see Shakur pop off on Frank Martin like he didn't just do the same exact thing. That's funny. Shakur said Frank Martin is a duck, a P, a B, because he turned down $1 million to fight him, which is by far his biggest payday. Plus, Shakur said, I'm the star. Well, the same exact thing could be said when it came to Devin Haney versus Shakur. Devin Haney, the bigger star. He has nearly triple the amount of followers Shakur has. Devin Haney has the better resume. Devin Haney gets paid more. And unlike Frank Martin, who was in the same position as Shakur in terms of being mandatories fighting for the vacant WBC title, Devin Haney is undisputed, while Shakur is not. Shakur doesn't even have a belt. More importantly, just like Shakur want to talk about how Frank Martin turned down $1 million, his biggest payday, to fight him by far, Shakur also turned down his biggest payday, approximately $8 million, to fight Devin Haney for undisputed. And remember, this is not according to me. This is according to Shakur's own team. So if you want to argue about it, go argue with Shakur Stevenson Promotions about it. Antonio Leonard Promotions. They the ones that said it, not me. Don't hate the messenger, hate the message. However, if you ask me my opinion on it, I totally agree with them. Now, for the people that's going to say, how the heck is Shakur going to receive $8 million from that 25%? Well, let's do the numbers exactly how Antonio Leonard Promotions did. If the fight between Devin Haney and Shakur can sell 600,000 pay-per-views, which this is a very realistic number. Remember, Gervonta on pay-per-view before he fought Ryan, he was only selling less than 300K every single time, around 200 to 300, right? On the other hand, Ryan, he never sold a pay-per-view in his life. Ryan wasn't getting paid. He was getting paid less than $1 million till his last fight, and he was doing poor numbers at the gate. However, when Gervonta and Ryan fought each other, they produced $1.4 million on pay-per-view. They were able to generate over $100 million in revenue. So if Gervonta and Ryan were able to do that, then let's compare their numbers to Devin Haney and Shakur numbers before they fought. Gervonta was selling less than 300K, and Devin Haney just fought Lomachenko on pay-per-view, where Devin Haney did 190,000 on pay-per-view. Shakur, just like Ryan, he never fought on pay-per-view. However, Shakur does have a big name. So it's very realistic for Devin Haney versus Shakur fight for undisputed to sell 600,000 on pay-per-view, up to $1 million on pay-per-view, especially if they are going to be talking trash like they are now to sell the fight. Which, if that's the case, Shakur is going to end up making even more than $8 million to fight Devin Haney for undisputed. Then if Shakur wants more money, he can make more money in the rematch against Devin Haney, because he's going to get the bigger percentage then, right? That's how Antonio Leonard Promotions calculated the $8 million salary Shakur was going to make against Devin Haney to fight for undisputed. Nevertheless, I'm still excited for Shakur Stevenson's next fight against Edwin De Los Anjos. Shout out to Edwin De Los Anjos for having the cojones to fight Shakur Stevenson, one of the boogeymans in boxing. However, we all know who the A-class boogeyman is, and that's the undisputed champion Devin Haney. I mean, you guys see how dangerous Shakur Stevenson is. Nobody in the lightweight division on the top 5 wanted to fight him. From Lomachenko to Zabeta to Pitbull to Frank Martin, you name them. But guess who wanted to fight Shakur? Devin Haney, the undisputed champion who had everything to lose and pretty much nothing to gain because Shakur wasn't bringing a belt to the table. Therefore, at the end of the day, say what you want to say. If you guys want to call Frank Martin a duck, then you have to call Shakur a duck for doing the exact same thing. But if you guys want to give Frank Martin a pass, then you have to give Shakur a pass too for wanting more money to fight Devin Haney. Just like Frank wanted more money to fight Shakur. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Prerogative and discretion to go off that advice, but he could have took the offer. Because a lot of you guys say
let me ask you this, man.
A lot of you guys say he wants to fight everyone, but like, bro, there was an offer for Warrington that he also didn't take.
Let me ask you this, Ness. All right, if Shakur fights him now, right, this year, right, and let's say, just a rough estimate, he would get that 25%, let's say $8 million, right? If he fights him next year, he can make 16, close to $20 million.
So why ruin the relationship if you never really wanted to fight him?
He does want to fight him. Who are you talking about, Shakur?
Absolutely. You're saying, why fight him now for 8 when we could fight him next year for 16? So I'm saying, so then why tell everybody he's ducking? Why send bottles? Why ruin the relationship that